So we'll start. Haloalkanes and haloarenes. Chapter number is haloalkanes and haloarenes. So first we will take the portion haloalkanes. Okay. Now first question is this, that what are actually haloalkanes? So for that we talk about alkanes. Okay. We all have studied alkanes, the compounds of carbon and hydrogen. When all bonds are single, they will be known as alkanes, and the simplest alkane with one carbon atom is methane. With two carbon atoms, this is also alkane because all bonds are single bonds with hydrogen and one of the bond is with carbon. This is methane. When in these hydrocarbons, if one of the hydrogen is by any of the halogen atom, halogens are denoted by X. So these halogen atoms, X may be a fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine. When hydrogen atom is replaced by halogen atom, then they are known as haloalkanes. And because it is methane, so it will be halomethane. As it is ethane, so it will be halomethane. Okay. Accordingly, if we specify this X, then if it is a fluorine, then it will be fluoroethane. If it is a chlorine, chloroethane. Bromine, then bromoethane. Iodine, then iodoethane. Okay. So these are the basics which you already know, but still we need to recall them before we start with the chapter. Then again we draw the structure of ethane. One of it is hydrogen replaced by chlorine. Now it is not necessary that only one hydrogen will be replaced by halogen. More than one can also be replaced. If one is present, one halogen is present in the chain of alkane, then it is known as mono, and because it is chloro, so it will be monochloroethane. But it is not always necessary that only one halogen is replacing hydrogen. More than one can also be there. In that case, suppose we have one more chlorine here replacing the hydrogen, then it will become dichloroethane. Similarly, one more is there, then it will become trichloroethane, and so on. Okay. Now again back to monochloroethane. Now from monochloroethane, if we are forming dichloroethane, there are two possibilities. This is carbon atom number 1, this is carbon atom number 2. So two possibilities are there, that second chlorine atom which we are going to attach here may be present on the same carbon, that is carbon atom number 1. In this condition, when they are attached on the same carbon atom, this is known as gem or geminal dihalide second case, again we draw here. Carbon atom number 1, carbon atom number 2. In this case, what is happening? On carbon atom number 1, there is one chlorine atom. On carbon atom number 2, there is another chlorine atom. That means the two halogen atoms are present on neighboring carbons. This condition is known as vicinal trihalide. Okay, so two conditions, geminal dihalides and vicinal dihalides. Clear? Now the next thing, the examples which we saw just now, they were having only single bonds in them. There are few common examples having double bond also. Let us take one example of it. 3 carbon atoms in a chain, carbon atom number 1, 2 and 3. First carbon having halogen atom, maybe chlorine or any other, H, we have to make 4 bonds for each carbon. Carbon atom number 2 and 3 are having double bond between them. So this carbon will have only 1 hydrogen. This carbon will have 2 hydrogen. Now this example you see. In this example, the carbon atom number 1, which bears the halogen atom, is bonded to another carbon atom, which is bonded to the third carbon atom with a double bond. Such a condition is known as allylic condition. Allyl. Okay? And this is allylic condition. Yes?
Ma'am, video quality is very poor. Ma'am, कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा.
Nirjara is speaking.
Ma'am, Yashita. Ma'am, Yashita.
हाँ, Yashita. Video quality is not clear.
Yes, ma'am, वो पूरा अटक रहा है 30 seconds के लिए.
Maybe see, Yashita, maybe your net problem it will be. Clear है ना? वही ना. हाँ, so it will be depending on your network. Okay. So this is allylic condition and this is known as allyl chloride. Okay. So this is allyl chloride. Which condition is allyl? 3 carbon atoms in a row and the carbon atom which bears a halogen, the carbon atom next to it has double bond with the third one. This is allylic condition and it is allyl chloride. Next example, having double bond. One more thing. If you want to make bond line structure of this, then it will appear like this. Double bond, this carbon, okay, between these two double bond. Then this one as CH2Cl. This is the bond line structure for allylic chloride. Okay. Similarly, another structure I make, C and C, carbon atom 1, carbon atom 2. Having double bond, to carbon 1 we have halogen, remaining bonds 1H, this one will have 2H. In this condition, what is there? The carbon atom which bears the halogen is bonded to another carbon atom which is having double bond. You can see the difference. Here the carbon atom which bears the halogen directly attached to double bond. Here the carbon atom which bears the halogen is attached to the carbon atom which in turn is attached with double bond. So this condition is known as vinylic condition and this is vinyl chloride. Okay. So before we do the reactions, we should know all these terms. Then only we can understand the reaction. Okay. So,
दो मिनट
हाँ, wait. Allyl and vinyl. Okay, done.
मैम
Yes.
आपने विनाइल क्लोराइड बोला, तो फिर इसके जो पहले वाला था वो भी तो विनाइल क्लोराइड ही था जिसमें डबल बॉन्ड नहीं था.
Which one? This one.
यस मैम.
This is not vinyl because it has no double bond. This is simply chloroethane or ethyl chloride, you will say it, not vinyl. Vinyl is only when there is double bond between the first and the second. This is not vinyl. This is simply ethyl chloride if you say its common name. Okay? And IUPAC name is chloroethane.
मैम विनाइल क्लोराइड और जो अपन ने पहला पढ़ा एल्काइलिक कंडीशन, एलाइलिक कंडीशन,
yes.
वो सिर्फ 3 कार्बन के लिए वैलिड है.
सिर्फ 3 कार्बन के लिए, है ना?
और ये 2 कार्बन,
ये 2 के लिए. ठीक है. Okay. Now for vinyl chloride, I forgot the bond line structure. For vinyl, it will be like this. Okay. For allyl, we had made double bond and CH2Cl. These are bond line structures. Now next thing which we want to discuss is degrees of carbon atoms. Now the carbon atom which bears the halogen, let us take chlorine first. This carbon atom may be the simplest one, having all bonds attached to hydrogen. This carbon atom is actually 1 degree carbon atom. Sometimes it is also called 0 degree, but we can also call it 1 degree. Okay, means if it is not attached to any of the carbon atom, the carbon atom which is bearing the halogen is not attached to any carbon atom, it is 1 degree. Also, a carbon atom which bears a halogen is attached to one more carbon atom, H, H and H. This carbon atom is attached to one more carbon atom. This condition is also 1 degree carbon. If you get confused between the two, you can call it as 0 degree. 0 degree means not attached to any, 1 degree means attached to 1. But in books you will find 1 degree only for both. So you just to memorize, you can remember this is 0 degree because not attached to anyone. Okay, here it is, this carbon attached to 1, so it is 1 degree carbon, or we also call it as primary carbon atom. Again, these 2 hydrogens are here. 1 hydrogen again we will put here. Instead of this hydrogen, I am putting here one more methyl group, CH3. You can write it like this, or you can write it like all bonds, showing all bonds. If this is the condition, now the carbon atom which bears the halogen is attached to how many carbons? One this, 2 carbon atoms. Hence it is 2 degree carbon, or it is also known as secondary carbon atom. Okay. Now the third condition, the carbon atom which bears a halogen. This structure we are drawing again, carbon with two more carbons. This side, CH3, CH3. Here we had placed hydrogen. So we are removing this hydrogen also and now putting here one more methyl group. Okay. So now the carbon atom which bears a halogen is attached to 1, 2 and 3 carbons. Hence this is 3-degree carbon, or we also call it tertiary carbon atom. So 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, carbon atom bearing halogen attached to 1 carbon, carbon atom bearing halogen attached to 2 carbons, carbon atom bearing halogen attached to 3 carbons. 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree. Can also call it primary, secondary and tertiary. So this is all about degrees of carbon atom. Done? Now IUPAC nomenclature we have done in class 11th. So mostly we follow IUPAC nomenclature, but for some of the compounds common nomenclature is also very common in use. So we need not to write them when we are writing the answers, but at least we should know them so that if they are asked in the question, so we can identify them, that is which particular compound is this. So now we will discuss little about those common names, then we will come to the preparation methods. Okay. So three carbon atoms. On the middle carbon atom, halogen is there. One more H. If according to IUPAC name, we call its name, it will be 2-chloropropane. We all have done it. But in common nomenclature, this is also known as isopropyl chloride, which must be known to us that the common name of this is isopropyl chloride. Though if you remember, isopropyl condition is this, that if all carbon atoms are not in a chain, on second number of carbon atom, if there is a branching present, then this is known as isopropyl condition. But still this name for this compound is isopropyl chloride, though all the carbon atoms are in chain. But considering chlorine out of the chain, it has been named likely like this, isopropyl chloride. So you must remember this name also along with 2-chloropropane. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3 and 4. We take example with 4 carbon atoms. This will be CH3, this will be CH3, this will be CH2. Place one chlorine atom here. Now this in IUPAC nomenclature it will be 2-chlorobutane. Simply on second carbon there is chlorine, so it is 2-chlorobutane. But in common nomenclature it is known as secondary butyl chloride. Secondary butyl chloride. Why secondary butyl chloride? Because the carbon atom to which halogen is attached to 2 carbon atoms. That means secondary means we are talking about 2 degree. So this is secondary and number of carbon atoms are 4. So secondary butyl chloride. Okay. Next example. this is another example. This condition, if you recognize, is a iso position. In a carbon chain, branching is present on the second number of carbon atom from the corner. So this is iso condition, and because number of carbon atoms are 4, so it is butyl in common nomenclature. So it is iso butyl chloride. See here. Here also 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms are there. They all are present in a chain. On second carbon there is halogen. So the name is secondary butyl chloride. Same 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon atoms, but because they all are not in a line, there is branching on second number of carbon atom. Hence the name for this condition is iso, and because 4 are there, so isobutyl and chloride. This is its common name, which must be known to us. If we come to IUPAC name, then simply it will be functional group is on the corner carbon atom. So this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3. So it will be one chloro, 2 methyl and propane. So in IUPAC name it is propane because of 3 carbon atoms, but in common nomenclature it is isobutyl chloride. Okay. Now again with the same number of carbon atoms we will talk. One carbon having halogen attached to it, CH3, CH3 and CH3. Again see, number of carbon atoms are 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here also there were 4, before also in the straight chain there were also 4. Now this condition is actually the carbon atom which bears a halogen atom is attached to 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms. So this condition is 3-degree condition. It is known as tertiary. So this is tertiary butyl chloride. Because the carbon atom is tertiary, hence it is tertiary butyl chloride. Okay. So gradually you will learn to remember them. First you note down and then just try to understand that why we have named them like this in common nomenclature. 3-degree, hence tertiary butyl chloride. If you talk about its IUPAC name, then selection of the longest chain, carbon atom number 1, carbon atom number 2. These two will be considered as branches. Wait. 3 carbon atom chain will be selected. 1, 2 and 3. Longest chain selection. On second position there is chloro group. On second position there is chloro group. So it will be 2 chloro, 2 methyl propane when it comes to its IUPAC name. And common nomenclature is tertiary butyl chloride. So this is about their common nomenclature. Now we talk about the polarity of this bond, haloalkanes, which we are going to study. How polar this bond is, this we want to talk. We know that halogens are highly electronegative, and in this case, because halogens are highly electronegative, so what will be there? The halogen atom will acquire partial negative charge, and as a result carbon atom will acquire partial positive charge. Hence the bond between carbon and halogen is highly polar. So all properties will depend on the polarity of this bond. One more thing is there, we have done in class 11. If all the bonds which are attached to carbon atom are single, that time the hybridization of the carbon atom is sp3. So in haloalkanes, hybridization of the carbon atom is sp3, and the polarity of the bond is such that halogen atom acquires negative charge partial and carbon acquires partial positive charge. Now, see, there are a lot of compounds which you all have to study. For every compound, the sequence will go like this. First, we will discuss about its general structure. Second thing, we will talk about methods of preparation, then physical properties, and then chemical properties. And for very few compounds, we have to see to their uses also. So the first point in this is methods of preparation. Now when we start the methods of preparation, one thing should be there in our mind, that what actually we have to prepare. We want to prepare haloalkane. The carbon atom number can be more. We are taking the simplest one. The carbon atom definitely will be more. So we want to prepare this. So what are the sources by which we can prepare this? This we have to think. Yes, definitely the preparation method we are using should be able to provide halogen so that we can prepare the halides. Now there are in all 4 methods which are used for the preparation of haloalkanes. Number 1, from alkanes. Using alkanes, we can prepare haloalkanes by free radical. You need to write it in this way. If you want to learn them properly, you will have to make small charts. So first, common chart for making the methods of preparation. That first method is from alkanes by free radical halogenation. Okay. Second method will be from alkenes. These were alkanes. Second method from alkenes. Now from alkenes we can prepare by 2 methods using you write with. Alkenes will be the main substance which we will be using. From alkenes with halogen acids. In one method we will use alkenes with halogen acids like HCl, HBr, and in the another method using halogens with alkene. One time halogen acid, second time halogens. Third method. First, second, third method. Halogen exchange method. Now, halogen exchange method, why we need to use this, I will discuss later. Fourth method, which is the most elaborate and long method, is from alcohols. By using alcohols, we can also prepare haloalkanes. Clear? Now you write it in this manner, then we will take one method and study it in detail. Note down the chart. Now first method I am taking from alkenes, and I wrote by free radical halogenation. Alkanes, we are taking simplest alkane, methane. When treated with halogens, let us write here chlorine. In presence of UV light, this is must to write, presence of UV light or heat to provide high temperature. Okay. In this condition, CH3Cl plus HCl as a byproduct is formed and haloalkanes are prepared. This is the simplest method. Now you might see that most of the time I will write here either chlorine or I will write here bromine, but I will not write reaction with fluorine and iodine. There is a reason behind it. F2. Fluorine, we know that fluorine has the smallest size and highly electronegative. So because of its small size, we know that this bond is very easily, we can break this bond very easily. So the reaction with fluorine is highly explosive, that they are difficult to conduct in the laboratories. So we don't write the reaction with fluorine because they are highly explosive and lot of heat is produced. Similarly, the reaction with iodine are reversible. So when reaction takes place with iodine, it becomes reversible. That is why also we don't write reaction with iodine. Though there are some ways by which we can stop this reaction to be reversible, that we will talk just now. First let me write another example. Here we have taken methane. Let us take example with 3 carbon atoms or 4 carbon atoms.
मैम आयोडीन से रिएक्शन क्यों नहीं हो सकती है, एक बार और बता दीजिए.
Iodine cannot react because the reaction with iodine becomes reversible. Reversible means what? Iodine is here. Okay. So if you are in place of chlorine, you are using iodine. Suppose I write here CH4 plus I2, same reaction conditions. It will give CH3I plus HI. Now this HI which is formed in the reaction is a strong oxidizing agent, reducing agent. It will give this H and will combine back to form I2. Okay. So if this will take place, what will happen? We are making the reaction in one direction. CH4 plus I2 gives CH3I plus HI, and then this HI will again give back I2, and the product will be again back CH4. So this will move in forward and again back in backward direction. So this, what product we want is this, and again what we will get will be this. Hence this reaction is not possible. It is made possible if we anyhow stop this HI to react back, and this is done. When we stop this HI to react back, then this reaction can take place. For this, what we need to do, we need to make this HI react with some strong oxidizing agent. So that we will talk later.